Yo, what's good? UW back here again in 2020, y'all. Oh, man. Everything seems to come full circle. Everything seems to come full circle. For those who don't know why my channel initially started, is because mainly, especially with the YouTube anime and manga community, I was tired of hearing the same old voices. At the time, there were not that many voices. There really weren't. A lot of these cats that came up and who were popular today were non-existent when I first was coming into the game, right? And I was like, yo, let me provide a different perspective than what's being known out here. Now, I've almost talked about this issue several times. I probably alluded to it. I know I've talked about it in live streams, off air, with different cast. Shout out to Fire Angel Chris, Sean Holmes. Y'all know the whole squad, Abdul Guez and whatnot. Thing is, bro, King of Lightning. God bless him. What is it? The gift that keeps on giving. I thought we were past Christmas. I guess we're going into Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day. Here's the thing, bro. I guess an SBS comes out. Oh, no, excuse me, Vivre card. And it comes out about good old Rob Lucci. It confirmed what I already knew. What Oda made readily apparent. But, I find it that too many folks need to be spoon-fed. I even had one of the commenters, I guess maybe New Machete, I don't know. But he's like, yo, are you going to make a video on this? I might. I just might. Because this is ridiculous. Do you know how many people utilize Haki Pre-Timeskip? How many? Quite a few. And it was obvious that they possess Haki. It's just, you have to understand a few things. And before I completely unload on this topic, right? First, what is Haki? 2, who possesses Haki? 3, what does Haki actually do? And 4, how do you utilize it? Okay, let's start off. What is Haki? 3 basics. We know observation Haki, armaments Haki, which people tend to have the most problems with, which I don't understand, and 3, conquerors Haki, which is the least known. All right. In Haki, what is it? In brief, it is willpower. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. 2, who has it? Every living creature. This was established by Oda. The Dark King himself, Silver's Rayleigh, talked to Luffy about that. All right? Understand this. This is coming through the Straw Hat's journey. Right? Non-Haki users. Not grasping the Haki concept. As far as I know, it is mainly an invisible power anyways. You see what I'm saying? So, what if it's an invisible power, why the hell would they see it? If another person was using Haki, you wouldn't know. Like, if you didn't know how a Logia was hit, and then you see someone hit a Logia, you'd be like, Nani? Kid? What? Right? Come on, let's use basic logic presented by the series. Thirdly, how is Haki utilized? In brief, in an overarching, because we can go more specific, but in general, observation Haki enhances perception. We see Sanji be able to smell differently, be able to see was it Nami? Was it Kinemon's body with Nami's Kinemon's severed body with Nami. We've seen him be able to dodge Katakuri's jelly bean shot. We've seen Katakuri with the future sight. Seen Luffy have his own version of that. In a multitude of ways. We've seen Madame Shirley fortune tell. We've seen Bosso Hawkins fortune tell. We've seen Mantra on Skypiea. We've seen Anel use his observation Haki to be able to amplify his already blatant abilities because of the devil fruit that he has. You go on and on and on about Fujitora is able to sense all these people around him and their emotions. Luffy's able to sense emotions. On and on and on. Zoro and the breath of all things, and you get it, right? Those are just examples. I'm not going to go in depth. That is not what this video is about. Armaments Haki is an invisible armor, and because it's an invisible armor, you can both. It's mainly meant for defense, but you can also attack. And a lot of people use it for attack because it's a lot easier to attack than it is to defend. To defend yourself. Okay, that's just the reality. If you punch somebody, that's easier than taking that shit. Right? That's like the Rokugan versus Tekai with Rokushiki. Okay, let's use some. That's why you see a glass cannon in Lord Cracker, even though you go like, well, what, he used armaments Haki to you can do it on objects, on weapons. We've seen that too many times. The Kuja Pirate, Swordsman, Lord Cracker with his biscuit soldiers. We've seen that. Amplify. We seen it, hardening Haki. We seen Rio with the advanced stuff. We seen force fields and shockwaves. You seen all that stuff, right? It can even impact the internal, bypassing the physical durability feats. We've seen that in brief. That's what we're talking about. Conqueror's Haki, the ability of a conquering king to suppress the wills of others. Weak will, folks, y'all out of here. We've seen it conquering the ability to affect the environment. Those are the two main uses that we've seen. Okay? We've seen its usage. We've seen what it is. And so who utilize it? Understand this. Just because someone has Haki doesn't get them an instant win. It's the same thing as just because someone has a devil fruit, that doesn't give them an instant win. Just because someone can fight well doesn't mean you're going to necessarily win. People will bring up things like, oh, he's an MMA fighter, can lose in a street fight against an experienced street fighter. If that MMA fighter has 2 professional wins, that doesn't mean he's going to beat anybody on the street. It's not a world-class fighter yet. Okay? Understand these things. And so, plenty of folk could have used it at varying degrees. Just because you say somebody has Haki usage or understands Haki doesn't mean they're good. People, if you're in the Hunter x Hunter, are Gon and Killua on the same level as Chairman Isaac Nintero and Jing Freaks. But they can both use Nin. I'm not even going to say them. What about Morale and Biscuit Kruger? I argue that Kurapika's a better Nin user than Gon and Killua. Leorio's not as good as Gon and Killua, but they can all use Nin, right? There are always levels to the shit, and everything in life, there are levels. This is basic. That's why we have, if you look at fighters, you have, going from amateur to, if we're talking on the professional ranks, you have, your pro debuts, your rookies. Then you have your prospects. You got your potential scrub veterans. Then you got your journeymen. Then you have your contenders. Then you have your champions. And you have, perennial champions and Hall of Famers. Then you got your legends up there, right? Your grandmasters at the top. That's how it works. And then in many martial arts, they have belts. They have Dan. You start off the white belt, then you get the yellow and green, blue, purple, brown, whatever. Then you get black belts. And once you reach black belt, you ain't reached the top. Then you got Dans, first Dan, second Dan, third Dan, fourth Dan. Some go to fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th Dans. There are levels. And he went up against Haki users. That doesn't mean he couldn't win. Just like devil fruits. What does Sir Crocodile say about devil fruits? I always go back, just like what Morale said about Nin and Hunter x Hunter, right? Sir Crocodile laid it down. He said it's the creativity of the user. When it comes to Haki, Rayleigh already told us what the game was. Haki blooms, and I can get to that in a second because, like, my home. Shout out to Brago Diaz. But a lot of people don't get this. It didn't seem like Brago really understood the whole Haki blooming. A lot of people don't still understand the Haki blooming thing. It's a very real principle, and I'll get to that in a second. But understand that Rayleigh already told us before the Haki blooming that some people specialize in observation. Some people specialize in armament. Some even have a specialty, the rare ones, in Conquerors. And just because you have Conquerors don't mean you have a specialization. Joker doesn't have a specialization in Conquerors. Neither does Katakuri, neither does Don Chinjiao. Luffy was better in all of them. Facts. And I'll give it, when I say levels, Lin doesn't seem like she specializes it. She seems like she specializes in armor Haki. So does Kaido. Although Kaido, we'll see. He might be Conquerors. The thing is, They have they have top tier conquerors haki, but they don't specialize it more than likely. Shanks probably does, but he still has top tier armaments and observation haki. You see, it's all willpower. Remember that, it's all willpower. And what did Kaido say? Break the willpower, break their wills, kill them as conquerors users. There are too many on the sea. This is not difficult. Y'all making this way more difficult than it needs to be. Now, Haki blooms through immense. Luffy has went in a normal route. Roger and Rayleigh sailed for decades. Teach sailed for decades. Shanks sailed for decades. Newgate sailed for decades. Kaido, Lin, all sailed for decades. Usopp would probably be in his 30s or 40s by the time normally he would enter into the New World. Especially if he would have went off on his own. But Luffy expedited. That's part of the reason Rayleigh had to jumpstart and teach him Haki. That's why Hawkeyes had to teach Haki. And it's not teaching Haki. They have Haki, but teach Haki usage, if you understand. Because they were doing something special. Zoro, Sanji, all of them. So they had to get them jump-started. And it's like, all right, we done all we can. We taught you the basics. Now you have to go live an experience. You gain experience. Haki blooming is like being in fights, okay? Or gaining experience in whatever field and profession you do, right? You gain confidence. You gain knowledge of what it is you do. If you're on stage more, in order to be great on stage for most people, you have to just do it. You have to practice. You have to be in that fire. And not just at low level. You have to be where, if you're, for example, as a singer, as someone who sings at karaoke frequently, right? Dog, there are some nights when there's nobody there. Those are great nights to practice shit that you don't normally sing, by the way. If you can't sing. There are times where I've been in where it's a whole packed house, ain't nobody listening. Those are great times. If you can get a reaction and some to respond in that, then you've done it, right? There are times where you have more of a hostile environment to be able to win people over, or people who didn't even care that you're there, and get people's attention. You have to be put yourself in situations. The same thing with public speaking, okay? To be able to win people over quickly. There are tools and stuff I can talk about public speaking. The point that I'm saying is Luffy is fighting some of the best of the best. Of course his Haki's going to skyrocket. If he was still in the East Blue, what competition would there be? Look at Arlong. Look at Buggy. Look at Smoker. Hello? If he remained in paradise, Luffy would have ran that. No competition. Hello? But he's in the New World, the largest, toughest sea. Come on, y'all. It's basic. So, Haki users pre-time skip. You know, I made a whole list in a comment, but Rob Lucci, of course Rob Lucci used it. Of course. This was obvious. Rokugan, maybe that's a technique, but you could maybe some hints at Rio. Maybe. The fact that his blunt strikes were hurting Luffy was a key indication of armaments Haki. Did he have some knowledge of observation? Probably. You know, the whole shave technique. And they're saying the different CP9 users, of course, it makes perfect sense. Outside of Cypher Pole Aegis Zero, that's the best Cypher Pole unit. They're assassins. Come on now. Like, let's use some common sense here. Vice Admiral Monkey D. Guard, of course. And if you don't need any evidence, the Fist of Love. Every time a Straw Hats was shot, they're like, but wait, Luffy's a rubber man. He should be immune to these blunt attacks. Garp could have been hockeying up his fist. Just because you hockey up your fist ain't mean you have to kill somebody. Remember intent. And remember the breath of all things. Cut anything or cut nothing. Understand the principles. There are principles to these things. Okay? All the admirals. Admiral Akayunu Sakazuki. Aokiji Kuzan. Kizaru Borsalino. If for no other, I mean, we clearly saw plenty of observation Haki feats. For nothing else, for nothing else. I mean, you could go the swords that they use, the weapons that they use with their powers, but for nothing else. The Rio force field that they use to stop Whitebeard's quake. Shall we go the Yonko and red-haired Shanks and Whitebeard Edward Newgate? We saw Conqueror's Hockey Clash, one of the best in the series. Do I need to say anymore? Oh, Shanks using armaments to clash with Sakazuki. Newgate using not so much observation anymore, but Newgate clearly using armament several times, like when he tried to stab Kuzan. All right. Marco the Phoenix clearly was using them when he was clashing with admirals. He sent Borsellino flying. Diamond Jozu definitely had it. Flower Blade Vista going up against who? Dracula Hawkeye's Mihawk. Both clearly had it. And Hawkeye's also taught. Zoro. Dark King Silver's Rayleigh. Definitely had it, obviously, right? Pirate Emperor's Boa Hancock. And the Kuja Pirates. All were utilizing Haki. Hello. The Boa Sisters. Haki users. Hello. Did we see any of this? Not visibly. Hello. Sentomaro clearly was utilizing Rio concepts, right? You trying to tell me the tyrant Bartholomew Kuma didn't have Haki before? Didn't know how to utilize Haki before? Come on now. We know the Joker, Don Quixote, Doflamingo, clearly. Sir Crocodile had it. Hello. Gecko Moria had it. Hello. Come on, y'all. Like this isn't difficult stuff. I argue that Bucky has it, but that's a whole other conversation. It's more debatable. Warden Magellan had it. Emperor Ivankov had it. Jinbei certainly had it, as is evidence post time skip, but he certainly had it. Smoker had it. Come on, y'all. Like, I can go on and on about different people who had it. Luffy utilized it at times. Zoro utilized it at times. Sorry, Sanji utilized it at times. Usopp and Nami utilized it more on the observation Haki side of times. Von Augur utilized it. Ace certainly had it as well. He was shocked that Teach could get hit. I don't know why he would do a fireball, but he was shocked that Teach could get hit by fire because he's like, aren't you a Logia? Why would you go after somebody's a Logia without Haki? Also, he was in the New World. The thing is, Ace hadn't had Luffy's training. So Ace's level of Haki usage was not as good as Luffy's. I mean, do I need to go any further? Why would you have an issue with Rob Lucci? People are thinking in an echo chamber. They're not thinking in actual reality, in actual logical situations, in a rational context. Come on, y'all. It was always present from chapter 1, episode 4, when Shanks hockeyed up and used Conqueror's Haki on the Sea King. Or the little midget Sea King, whatever. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. The fact that I had to do this video is sad. It's honestly sad. One Piece fans, please start paying more attention. I know people on my channel pay attention, but like I said, we can go a whole laundry list of times when people utilize Haki pre-timeskip. Really, it is basic to me. A lot of this just come off the top of the dome. Come on, y'all. Y'all know the series better than this. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, y'all. Peace. If there are any other videos you would like me to make, then please let me know. And until next time, y'all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night.